Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a problem that, let's be honest, every single developer faces. How do you stop getting those frustrating, buggy responses from your AI assistants and start getting production-ready code you can actually use?
Right, let's just get straight into it, because we've all been there, haven't we? You ask for a piece of code, and what you get back is confusing, buggy, or it just completely misses the point. You know the tool is powerful, so what's going on? Why does this keep happening?
Well, here's the thing. The secret isn't some kind of magic inside the AI's brain. It's all in your prompt. I mean, just look at the difference here. The vague one-line request on the left, that's like giving someone a jumbled thought. It just leads to a confused AI. But the clear, structured prompt on the right, that gives you a confident AI that's ready to deliver. It's all about communication.
So that's what this all boils down to. We need to reframe this. This isn't a tech problem, really. It's a communication problem. And the good news is, that's something we can absolutely fix, starting right now.
Think of it like this. We've been handed this incredibly powerful, almost magical tool, but nobody gave us the instruction manual. So, to get better output, the very first thing we need to do is understand how these models actually think.
Okay, so this brings us to a really foundational shift in how you need to think. This is the key, really, the key to unlocking what these things can truly do for you.
First things first, let's get crystal clear on what an LLM is not. You see it there on the left. It is not a mind reader. It definitely doesn't understand your high-level business goals, and it is not a system architect. What it is, as you can see on the right, is an incredibly sophisticated pattern predictor. That is its entire job. And this slide, well, it perfectly sums up our job in all of this. If the AI is just a pattern predictor, then it's on us. It's our responsibility to feed it a high-quality, structured pattern to begin with. Because if you feed it messy, unstructured thoughts, well, you know the saying, garbage in, garbage out. It really is that simple.
All right, so let's get into the practical stuff. We're going to dive into a core, actionable framework here that will completely transform your prompts from just simple questions into comprehensive, clear instructions.
And believe it or not, it all comes down to just 4 simple steps. This little model is what gives the LLM the structure and the clarity that it craves, which enables it to give you the high-quality, relevant code you actually need.
And here they are. It's context, goal, constraints, and output format. So let's actually break each one of these down with some real-world examples so you can see exactly what I mean.
Okay, step 1, context. This is such a great illustration of the power of context. Look at the left. Fix this bug. I mean, what is the AI supposed to do with that? It has nothing. But look at the right. You tell it you're on a WordPress site, you're using ACF blocks, it's for an admission platform, and the issue happens when filtering by marks. Suddenly, you've given it the exact pattern it needs, and that massively improves your accuracy.
Next up, the goal. You know, saying optimize this isn't really an instruction, is it? It's more like a wish. What does optimize even mean here? Faster, less memory? For one user or for thousands? When you define a specific, measurable goal, like reducing database load for a specific number of users, you get a specific, measurable answer.
Now, step 3, defining constraints. This is an incredibly powerful technique. What you're doing here is you're essentially building a fence for the AI. You're telling it exactly where it can and cannot go, which forces it to generate a solution that fits perfectly within your project's specific boundaries and requirements.
Okay, this last one, this is kind of a pro-level move. Instead of just getting a giant wall of code dumped on you, you demand a structured response. You're basically telling the AI to stop being just a coder and start acting like a consultant, breaking down the solution into organized, actionable parts. It is a total game changer.
So now, let's zoom out a bit. How do we take this from just writing one great prompt to building a whole strategic workflow around it? One you can integrate into your entire development process, right from idea to deployment. Here's the key. Don't just jump straight to, give me the code. That's a mistake. You want to use the LLM as a thinking partner, like a brainstorming buddy. Hash out the architecture with it. Ask it for 3 completely different ways to solve the problem. Use it to find the weaknesses in your plan before you commit to a direction. And this right here might be the single most valuable question you can ask an LLM. Seriously, just ask it. What can go wrong? By asking that, you're forcing the AI to switch from being a builder to a breaker. It helps you anticipate edge cases, security vulnerabilities, and potential failures before you've even written a single line of code.
And hey, just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. You want to avoid these common traps. Each one of these really comes from a misunderstanding of what the tool is for. You are the architect. The AI is the very fast, very capable builder.
All right, this brings us to what I think is the most important takeaway from this whole explainer. This is the one single principle that should guide every single conversation you have with an LLM.
Let's just pause on that for a second because it's so important. AI accelerates execution. You own the logic. Your job is to handle the why and the what. The AI's job is to handle the how, and to do it faster and more efficiently than we've ever been able to before.
So here you go. This is a real, tangible template you can start using like today. Think of it as your personal cheat sheet for every single prompt you write from now on. You fill in these blanks, and you will give that pattern predictor the high-quality pattern it needs to give you a high-quality completion.
When you master this kind of communication, you're not just writing better prompts or getting better code. You are fundamentally changing your entire workflow. You're freeing up your most valuable resource, which is your mind, to focus on architecture, innovation, and solving bigger, more interesting problems. So the real question is, what will you build?